you want to tell us what happened with the boot?
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, so when I first started doing stand-up, I got my car. I would drive.
We're going
to
way
New
back.
York. Yeah, like we're talking fucking. What, I'm 29 now. We're talking 7, 8 years ago when I first got my car, and I'm driving back and forth to Connecticut, and I didn't give a fuck like about tickets. I'll pay it later. This, that, and the other, and like started to add up. So when I finally moved to New York in the Bronx, I was told by my uncle. He was like, "Yo, make sure you pay all your tickets before you move here, because you don't want to get booted and shit." So I was like, "All right, whatever." Didn't pay my tickets. Got booted. Got towed. Got it out. Right? You gonna put that? Put that in my mouth?
Okay. First 5 minutes.
Fucking buy me dinner first. Second time it happened, I got really drunk after work at the bar across the street.
Yeah.
I slept at my job in the office downstairs. Woke up, went to work, no problem. Had a toothbrush, went to leave to go to my car, boot on it. And my stupid ass is like, look, like, oh man, whatever. Like, so I paid it off, got it taken out. I went on a payment plan. So the recent time it happened, the third, 3 times the charm.
Third time's the charm.
Yeah. I was at a friend's, I was leaving late, went down to my car, boot. Only because I missed one payment on my payment plan.
He missed one payment.
One payment.
I mean, the guy is a degenerate. He travels with a toothbrush. Does that tell you anything?
I do. I live out of my car.
He never knows.
Yeah. So I was like, no, fuck this. And I've already been on the Reddits forever looking at like stuff on like boots and how it works and everything. And
breaking the motherfucking rules.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm not paying them jack dick. One payment, you're going to put a boot on it?
Fuck you.
Fuck you. And I ripped it off. I fucking took it off. Like,
so here's what I want to know now, right? Because obviously parking is like the cardinal rule in a city, right? I mean, that's like... Is there anything like more enforced than like parking? You know what I mean?
It's a fucking scam, bro. It's a fucking scam. Like where I work, first off, if you work at a business in New York and you have to park on the street, you should not have to pay for parking.
No, I agree.
That's number one.
100%.
That's kind of fucked.
It's really fun because I used to work at GameStop on 125th, and they were fucking cool. See, they're cooler in the hood because they understand the struggle.
We get it.
Manhattan, they
Life's
don't.
hard.
Yo,
Listen, everybody below 81st Street is living in a utopia.
Yeah, like for real. Like, and where I work on 105th, they don't. I used to put a sign in the window on 125th, and I used to be like, "Hey, I'm the only one here. Please come get me. Don't give me a ticket."
Yeah.
Never, ever did I get a fucking ticket. The first couple of times, yeah, and then eventually they were like, "No, you're cool."
Yeah.
Everybody on that strip, and I'm talking right on 125th, next to the fucking Apollo. So you know how busy it is.
Yeah.
And they knew you're the GameStop guy.
Yeah, nobody.
GameStop guy.
Nobody. Anybody that drove, nobody got a ticket. Where I work now, the guy literally told me yesterday. He was like, "Well, you know, you got to park, whether you working there or not." They're all fucking Indian or Trinidadian.
Yeah, no, yeah, they're working the block.
Those
They're
parking
working the block.
gypsies.
Dude, and I was so I was like, all right, whatever, man. But when I pulled it off, the boot, like a couple months ago, I went home, I threw that shit in my fucking house. But the worst part about it was like when I pulled it off, these Dominican dudes came out of nowhere and were like, "Yeah, we could take the boot off for $100." I was like, I don't have $100, but I thought that they put the boot on. The cops pulled up 5 minutes later while I'm in my car on the phone with my boy. The boot's in the back seat. 3 cop cars.
Oh.
And I'm like, fuck. One of them.
Do you think
saw
they
me.
remember? Like, do you think they like mark it?
There's a GPS in the boot.
Makes sense.
Yeah, there's
Makes
a GPS
sense.
track, and I learned that from the Dominican dudes.
I never knew that.
That's why they came by.
Yeah, well, they offered
came
to help, but they wanted like $100.
Yeah.
Now, do you think they saw a GPS, or do you think something went off and they were like, Dominicans are near the boot?
cops-
Dominicans are near the boot.
Honestly, no, but I broke a cardinal rule in the hood, and I shouldn't have fucking did it.
Tell me, because I definitely don't know this rule.
I broke this rule, and I'm so disappointed in myself. So
Well,
when
let's
the
say it at
cops
the same
came,
time. Let's say this rule at the same time because we're well known, me and you.
what's the rule?
And I can say the whole word, or I can...
So when the cops came, they were like, yeah, we heard about reports, because they were patrolling the area anyway. And they were like, we heard about reports about guys stealing tires. And the guy was like, oh, is that your boot? I was like, yeah, I just paid it, took it off. And he was like, oh, okay. Asked for my ID. And they asked me again, so you don't know nobody about stealing tires or anything? And I was like, no. He was like, do you care if we pop your trunk? I was like, you can pop the trunk. I don't care. And I popped the trunk. They checked. And they asked me a third time. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not getting it because it's illegal to remove the boot. And technically you can get arrested for it.
Sure.
So
oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I guess because that's like you're tampering now with like.
It's like a federal
city
property.
Yeah, right.
So they were like, I was like, yeah, there's two like Dominican dudes in a van driving around. And I was like, I don't remember what color the van was. It was like really dark. And they were like, all right, thank you. And they just hopped in the car and dipped.
Yo.
And they were like the same fucking story. That goddamn van.
I was like, I'm so glad I don't have any niggas with me. Because at that moment, I was like, I broke the number one rule. Like in my community or in the hood. You can't fucking. And I was like sitting there like, damn. You sold them niggas out. I was like, fuck that. I went home. I took the boots in. The boot was at my house for a long time. And then my girl yelled at me one night. She was like, you better fucking bring the boot back to the fucking place. So I just ran into the gas station, one of the drop-off points. I found out because I fake called. And I was like,
there's drop-off
yeah, there's drop-off points that you have to bring it to. And I was like, oh, yeah, like my cousin took the boot off. Like he needs me to drop it off. Where did I drop it? And the guy told me.
Wow.
Didn't ask me for no information. And I just went, dude. I parked down the block, went up there, walked to the boot, and then walked all the way. I parked like 2-3 blocks down.
You don't want
I don't want them knowing. I don't want them knowing.
Dude, that's very interesting. You know, it feels like a place like New York is so busy. Do you think that a place like New York is easier to bend the rules a little because of just how much is happening all the time? Like in terms of like, you called this guy. Imagine all the shit they're fielding all day. If you're calling like. They pray for people to call and just be like, hey, man, I just got to return a boot. They're like, yeah, man, just go here. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Like,
honestly,
you know what I mean? Like, do you think that, like...
Yeah, I think there's certain areas and everything you can bend the rules within it because there is so many people. Like subways are so policed now and so, But, like, there's like, okay, there's other entrances you go into. So always there's going to be rules to be bent because the human mind is brilliant.
Look directly at the camera.
And that's what I gotta say about that. And my question for you, Malik, how heavy is the boot?
Yeah, how heavy
that
is
shit
the
ain't
boot?
that fucking heavy.
Oh,
bro, I fucking what was annoying at first because I was like, oh, I'm not gonna get it off.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was adrenaline.
Yeah, how did you get it off?
I pulled it. I just pulled it off. I literally just was like.
They literally
and I
need
went,
like a
boom!
key to unlock it. Is that
So
Can you tell the rules for everyone?
here's the thing: you need a key to unlock it, or you just need heart.
So there's two different types of. Listen up, folks. All right, for my people at home.
Who wants to learn how to break a rule?
Let me tell you how to break the law. Let Papa Malik show you. If the boot has a code, you got to pull that shit off. If the boot got a key, you find a guy. I know a fucking guy in the Bronx.
This is a great story. Please tell this story right now.
The first time when I got booted, I was out there looking at my car and I was like, fuck, I got to pay it. So I called. I found out the amount. I was like, I can't afford that. So I'm trying to figure out. This is when I started going to Reddit. My fucking
Which, by the way, that's never a good way to start a sentence. You're like, so I was on Reddit.
That's a hopeless man's move.
Listen, you're an incel. No matter what, you have a gun. That's what you're saying.
Reddit is the holy Bible for whatever you want to find to do something. My neighbor right next door came up to me. He's like, you got a boot, huh? And it was the key. Well, actually, there's a key in the code one, too, but I think it's a little harder. It's a different key. And I was like, yeah, I got a boot. He goes, I got you. Goes back to his house.
So awesome.
Pulls out the key.
Yeah.
Comes over and opens it.
Hello.
He's got the skeleton key.
Yo, he took my boot. He's like, give me $25. I go drop it off for you. I was like, no fucking way. Are you serious? He's like, yeah. He opened his trunk. There's 3 boots in there. And he looked at me and he said, they're not going to get me.
They're not going to get me.
They're not going to get me,
but
motherfucker.
I was so scared because I went and told my uncle. And my
Yeah.
uncle was like, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, like, what are you thinking?
So I wind up paying them. I just paid it anyway. And they were like, oh, yeah, you can return
did?
Yeah, I wind up paying them.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't want, because you get, so there's a fine.
Sure.
But it's only if you damage it. If you don't damage it, you're fine. I think there's probably some type of fucking fee or whatever, but I wind up paying for it. And then I just told him, I was like, yeah, I just, my stupid cousin. I made up some bullshit excuse to the lady. And I was like, yeah, but he dropped it off. And she was like, okay, check back in like a week to make sure it's like there. You have to pay this fine. And I checked back and the guy dropped it off.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's